Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, everybody. Giselle and the gang are back for season 10. Real Housewives of Potomac. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Everything said on my video is alleged. It's my own personal opinion. There's a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, where allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, review, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So please like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome everyone that is able to join me during the live. If you're not able to join me during the live, I would love to see you during Team Replay. Just come in, Team Replay. Thank you so much. And let me see. I thought I had a picture of these ladies. I may not. That's okay if I don't. Everybody knows what Giselle and the gang look like. Do we know what Giselle and the gang look like? I'll try to add this while I'm here. If not, that's not that big a deal. Let's see. Giselle and the gang. Real Housewives of Potomac. Season 10. So, of course, let me see. Let's see if we can do this backdrop. I'm not sure if this will add this while I'm here. If not, that's okay. Because we all know we don't have the Grand Dame right now. There we are. Let me change the layout a little bit just so we can look at them a little bit, and then I'll come back on in a minute. We don't have the Grand Dame right now, but she will be back, everybody. Welcome back, Sharon Gabo. I have been missing you. I am glad to see you. And thank you for coming in for the premiere of, the video is not a premiere. I'm actually live, but this is for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is their season 10, episode 1. The ladies are back. We have a couple of new ladies out here with Giselle and the gang. And I'm just going to call out a few names as we see them kind of shake the table a little bit, trying to. We'll see whether or not we think they succeeded. And Sharon Gabo, one of my A1 day ones, saying, good morning, Sandra P's Gen Extra, and chat. Also, those of you that are at work or you're having your morning walk or any of the many things that you do while you're listening, if you're in the bushes, thank you so much for being in the bushes. Still come in, drop down, and click the like button if you will. I appreciate that so much. And I'm going to try to get a little, okay, that actually covers up, doesn't cover any of the ladies. We see Giselle in the center, honestly, where she belongs. Okay, and I'll just say this. I'm no Giselle fan. Never have been. But I want Real Housewives of Miami to take a page out of the book of Real Housewives of Potomac. Sometimes you can split up a duo, which thinks they're in charge. You can split that duo up, and the one that is left will get some act right, okay? So Giselle is able to talk to and film with all of her co-workers, castmates, frenemies, now that Rob the Throb Dixon has been shown the door. Robin was shown the door for telling her story everywhere but the TV screen. We knew more about Juan and Robin, what was going on behind the scenes from social media. And she was behind a wall, y'all, on Patreon, telling things that she wasn't telling Bravo, who was giving her her biggest check. So she's paused or otherwise indisposed at the moment. I don't know that we'll ever see her back. Initially, Robin was one of my favorites. I don't care to see her back if her and Giselle will do that same thing. I didn't mean to start off with a mini rant, but because Real Housewives of Miami is on its way out the door, we just did reunion part 1. Disgraceful, terrible, hard to watch. We will talk about it. We've already talked about it. I may do another rant. But this is the Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all, the fact that we are almost 5 minutes in and I haven't mentioned what went on in the season yet, I hope this is not the way these ladies are going to start. We're waiting for Monique Samuels. We have not seen her yet. Monique has been welcomed in, not as full cast, but Monique is coming in as a friend of. She's claiming that that's what she wants to do. Some of the Moniqueites were in the background saying, why didn't they let Monique take a new photo? Monique dropped onto social media and said, I didn't have time to take a new photo. So Monique is already doing that thing she do, but she's self-important. She's big and bad. Honestly, I welcome it because some people in this cast need to be shaken up. Ashley Bobblehead Darby. Look at her standing there to Giselle's right. That's not your rightful place. I don't know if Grand Dame is going to come back and be center. I don't know if Grand Dame will come back and be to the right of Giselle. She served that time. Some people think she should still be in there. As Giselle, her frenemy, her best frenemy on this show brought up, 4 DUIs, she had to take accountability. She did. She got the time. She served the time. We heard Ashley mention Thomas Jefferson's concubine. A drunken Karen said that to the police. Shameful. So now we're throwing this in her face. Okay. All right. Again, let me start. Here Sharon is saying, I'm not a Giselle fan, but since Robin's not on anymore, she's beginning to shine more. Exactly, Sharon Gobble. Sometimes you have to break up these duos. I don't care for her, but I turned on Love Island because honestly, as a newer creator, I needed content. I didn't know that I was going to like Love Island. I did. I liked Giselle on her own. Countess Luann gets on my nerves, but she made me laugh over there. The only one I still didn't care for was Shannon Bedore. I don't care for Shannon Bedore of OC. I find her to be a sad sack. Now, there's another drunken one has hit a whole house, and she's not been in anybody's jail, but that's not saying Grand Dame shouldn't have went. That's saying Sharon Bedore needs to go. And Ashley Darby was tolerable over there. I was interested in her and her little shenanigans over there to see what she was going to do. So we have a Real Housewives of Potomac. They're back. Season 10. So congratulations, lady, making it to season 10. Right above me, directly above me, I have to come up with this young lady's name. I hate it. She was actually brought on by Kierna. So Kierna, you barely have your place, and yet you get to bring somebody on. Okay. All right. So I have to pull up her name. I don't know what that lady's name is. Stacy is right above me. Stacy was kind of in the hot seat. Stacy, you can't shine if you're going to jump up and run from that hot seat. She ran out of a couple of scenes. This is episode 1, y'all. Wendy, Dr. Wendy of the 4 Degrees, and part 2 of my favorite, one of my favorite couples on any of the Housewives franchise, Happy Eddie Osefo. We'll talk about him. Dr. Wendy. And then the other couple, of course, is my sweet Gertie down there in Miami fighting for her life, and her husband, Russ. We have Giselle in the center. I'm going to say it. That's where she belongs right now. Ashley Bobblehead Darby. She's a mess, y'all. She showcased this episode. She gets the first event. We'll talk about it. Kierna. Beautiful, beautiful Kierna. I don't know. Did Kierna earn her slot, or did Bravo try to stop her from suing them after Ashley brought Sesame Street on to attack Candace because they couldn't do nothing with Candace's mouth and all those words? And so they had to attack her in public at a club at a G&A, Giselle and Ashley event. So Kierna, y'all, she's struggling. We see her with her beautiful mother, so she has a scene. And then the lady to the far right of Giselle. Her name I wrote down, but I don't remember. Y'all, this is not a good sign. Sharon is saying it. Stacy is going to be the target for the women this season. Scene 1, y'all. Scene 1. We see Karen writing a letter. Oh, y'all, I'm sorry. I was actually out at a concert last night, Uncle Charlie's Barbecue, which was so much fun. So much fun. If he comes to your city, y'all see him while you can, okay? I will not say too much about that. His voice is still amazing. When he sits down at that piano and sings, he's amazing. He is. If you are new here, thank you so much. Sandra P's Gen Extra, okay? Sometimes it takes me a minute to get into it, all right? But I promise you, I will. I will. So, again, I have my notes, but I may skip around. And as we all know, because they previewed the scene, they had to bring in the Grand Dame. So you can't say she's not the center focus if you have to bring her on and she's not there. She was writing to Karen that she needs help with the heifers, with the ladies, and she's calling the ladies over. She's assembling everyone. We see Giselle going around her kitchen. They show the front of that house. Y'all can make fun of Giselle in that house all you want to. Giselle's house looks beautiful. We saw it coming up. We saw the construction. We saw the lady shade her and try to figure out, well, what's this extra thing going to be? What's this? What's that? She had them outside at one event. She didn't want Dr. Wendy to come in and use the bathroom. But the house is beautiful. It's her taste. It's her style. Giselle thinks she a star. She may be a star. She's a Bravo celebrity star. I'll give her that. She was on Watch What Happens Live with Lotto. I don't know a lot about Lotto. All I know is Big Mama. I don't know. I don't know her music. I don't know anything about her. She's younger. People actually like her a lot. So Ashley and Giselle's setting up in the kitchen, feeding them a lot of sweets. We know Giselle can cook too and bake, but she had a lot of store-bought stuff. I still will eat it. It looked good. She said, let me get some bottled water. Let me get the liquor. We're going to need liquor. I don't think she liquored them up. And I don't know what time of day it was. Seemed like breakfast with what she had. She could have gave them some mimosas. I don't know. But she was putting out water. Thank you, Sharon, if you were over there. I wasn't that great with my pictures. The best thing that came out was I had a part of him, just a short. I think he was doing There Goes My Baby. And then Casey Haley, you know Casey Haley, excuse me, of Jodeci. He likes to jump down in the crowd. I was trying to follow him with the phone. That's where I was live. I apologize, anybody on the live. There was somebody saying, who's that? Where are you at? And I couldn't type and hold the phone. So thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was actually treated. The seats were pretty good. One of my little babies I helped raise, she's working. She has a job. She's taking her little gap year from school. She's not directly in college. She's working one job and looking for another one, y'all. So she's a swim coach. And she is earning there. And then she's going to look for something else, too. And then when she decides to travel or go away to school or whatever, she can. Giselle has 3 lovely daughters, all in college at the same time. So that's how she has her empty nest. One of the moderators came in. Mama Bees, welcome in. I'm glad to see you this morning. Happy Monday to everyone. I hope you all have a great Monday. Mondays are kind of rough, as you can see. I'm like an old car. What they tell Mel over there on Golden Bachelor referred him to an old car. That he's a muscle car. I have to remember all the things they said about him. They roasted the stuffing out of him. Go watch that review. But as Ashley and Giselle are talking, Giselle said that she is so concerned about Karen. She's worried about her. Ashley jokes about if there's an old lady section or an elderly section of the prison or AARP section, excuse me, something fell on my eyelash. That's where she wants Karen to be. Giselle is laughing. Giselle got a pretty smile, but she always uses it to mock people. Laugh on Giselle, because guess what? If there is an AARP section or an elderly lady section of a prison, you would be there, and so would I if we ever got in any trouble. So, and I heard the Grand Dame didn't have any problems in there. Angela A., our moderator, my friend, welcome. Thank you. She's speaking to everyone. Here is Toot Latrice. Welcome in. I'm happy to see you, friend. Thank you so much for coming in. Good morning, Sandra P., mods, and chat. We're trying to get started with these ladies. And y'all, I am like the first scene, and we are 10 minutes in. And that tells you what the episode was. We'll rate it at the end. So they're joking about the old lady section of prison, which is where they think the Grand Dame would be. So all the ladies show up. Now, production is shady already. They make a point of showing us Ashley's new white Audi. Beautiful Ashley. Go ahead, Ashley. Ashley's making her a little money, y'all. She travels around, does a lot of these little TikTok dances. She has the G&A clothing line. I don't know what money they're making, but her and Giselle are working really hard at it. She also, I've seen her doing these different reviews where she sings. She sings. She had somebody hire her. She was on a local news station when we lost Roberta Flack. Ashley Bobblehead Darby was up there singing Killing Me Softly. Yes, she was. I'm not lying on the lady. She was. Toot is speaking to everybody. Welcome in. They're all speaking to everyone. I love that, y'all. So all the ladies assemble. So they showed Ashley's new white Audi, which is beautiful. Stacy comes shortly after. Stacy has the same car, y'all. Giselle found that interesting, but we found out that's a loaner. Stacy's getting one custom, okay? Go ahead, Stacy. So Stacy's making some money too. So all the ladies are there together. Kiana's so beautiful. I don't know what, Kiana, are they going to keep you? She's trying to clock in, but she's doing a lot. They're all talking about how concerned they were about Karen when they found out. They recounted her sentencing and how upset everybody was. I feel like production, I'm sorry, y'all, I fell asleep a little bit too and taking notes. Production showed like the prison scene of like where she was getting out outside the jail. So the whole thing was kind of chaotic. And Giselle says, I didn't want her to leave. Oh, they started grilling on Stacey. They started talking about Stacey and TJ. Because as you know, when these ladies all meet, the first thing they kind of talk about, they try to bring the new season in, but the reunion is still first on everyone's mind. And whatever happens in New York during that reunion can impact the whole season. I don't know. They need to do something about that, because the viewer, a lot of times we want a fresh start, even though we follow through social media and everything that's happened. We know that Stacey owed TJ money. We called out at the time TJ was a fake boyfriend and was there for TV, allegedly. That's what it looked like, that he was there for TV. Okay. We didn't like the way he came in and how he looked. Thank you, Mama Bees. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the live, keep the channel in the algorithm. Thank you so much. So they were kind of arguing with Stacey over TJ. Stacey's still trying to hem and haw and do all that. Stacey is quick. She can speak, but she kind of like didn't have her notes, didn't have herself together. She couldn't really answer questions coming from all these different directions. And Kiana, you got a lot going on to be talking to Stacey. Ashley is dead on Stacey's tail. Ashley, I think you see Stacey as a threat. Because if Stacey really would step into whatever it is she has going on, and I'll tell y'all what I suspect throughout this review, if Stacey would face that and step into it, the viewers would support her. At least some of us. You don't need everybody. A lot of people don't like Giselle, and look where she's at, dead in the center. And she was on Watch What Happened Live with Lotto right after their premiere season 10. So they get into it with Stacey. Stacey's heat get too hot. Stacey jumps up in that little printed dress and she storms out the door. Giselle says, I didn't want her to leave like that, but since she's gone, Giselle, that is so shady. Y'all have made a guest so uncomfortable in your home that she left. And the second she leaves, you're going to talk about it. We'll allow it because we want to know what's happening. So we'll allow this. All right. So just Stacey jumps up to leave. Giselle says, I didn't want her to leave like that. And then she fills us in. Now, this was a little confusing to me, but we find out that a lot of the ladies were invited to an event that Essence put on, a luncheon. Giselle sitting next to an actress who happens to be TJ's best friend. This actress is showing Giselle some kind of pictures or something of a lawsuit that TJ has against Stacey. TJ owes Stacey money. I think production brought this in. Now, y'all, because I fell asleep on it a little bit, and I apologize. That tells you what the episode was, right? But TJ last season, remember, he ghosted Stacey at the reunion. He called Eddie. Eddie's backstage just smiling on FaceTime. The ladies start talking about it on the stage, but they didn't have all the information yet. I think production was showing us a little bit of that, but we remember it because we watched it. So they started talking about what Eddie might have said. You know, Eddie tells Wendy everything. So he was telling Wendy what happened during break. They didn't have the full story. And she was like, you'll just have to ask Eddie. And Giselle and the ladies start chanting, bring Eddie out. Bring Eddie out. So in a first, we get a husband. You know, the Real Housewives husbands don't get paid. Even Peter never got this. We get a husband brought out by Andy Cohen, who is so undone and so messy and nosy. Part of the reason we love and hate Andy Cohen. Sat Happy Eddie right next to him and started quizzing Eddie about what's going on with TJ. Well, Giselle's giving us the story, y'all. The actress, TJ's best friend, TJ was promised 50% of Stacey's earnings, of her Real Housewives earnings. Now, who believes Stacey was ever going to pay that? TJ, what is wrong with you? TJ's lying in, this is what I think. He just wanted to be on TV. He would have done it for free. But Stacey, if you told that man that and he's now suing you, you are equally dumb, okay? So they're talking about this. Giselle with her messy self talking about, I tried to get a picture, but I could not. That's Gen X right there. You try to get your technology together. Those of us that are good at it, not me, I shouldn't say us, I'm not going to include me. I'm not going to stereotype a whole age range. Some of them are very good. You can look at some of the channels and you can tell that they are good. And then some of us struggle, okay? So she said, I tried to get a picture, but I couldn't. I wasn't fast enough. So we believe you, Giselle. Giselle is messy as she can be. She'll talk about everybody else's business. I don't know her to be a liar. I'll say that and put a pin in it. I'll just be honest. As no Giselle fan, I don't know her to be a liar. Bobblehead Darby will lie. She'll lie, but I don't know Giselle to be a liar. So there's this out there after Stacey left. Now, Giselle, why did you tell Stacey this while she was there? If you didn't mind her being so uncomfortable, she left. But Giselle, 10 years in, she knows how to make good TV. So this is going to be a storyline. Sharon Godbolt said it. They're going to be on Stacey's head throughout the season. Okay, they're going to target her this season. So Wendy is talking to Kiana is talking. Kiana's got all her own mess going on. We see a next scene. They do a bunch of these mini scenes, but a good scene we see Eddie or Happy Eddie. Y'all know Sesame Street referred to him derisively as, here comes Eddie, Happy Eddie, that he was flying up in her face. She lied. She lied on Chris Basket, Candace's husband. He didn't fly in her face. Happy Eddie has taken that name and made a lucrative brand of cannabis, y'all. I follow him. I follow that brand on IG. He's traveling all over with it, everything. Dr. Wendy is remodeling her house. She's in her soft girl era. If you can be soft with all those jobs, Dr. Wendy is always doing 5 things, but I love it. So she's in there talking about, we have 19-foot ceilings and we want marble all the way up. So Eddie's standing there just grinning. 19 feet of marble. He know he gonna do it. So she's in a confessional. Wendy looks beautiful in her confessional. Eddie wants to know, where's the money coming from? So Wendy in the confessional says, Happy Eddie is doing great. She laughs with production. And I'm laughing at it too. So they said, Happy Eddie is doing great. He opened a marijuana line. She said he's made $1 million off of it. So congratulations, Eddie. This is for a year, y'all. Because remember, this was new starting last season. Another thing, poor Stacey, Giselle, throwing up somebody's business. And haven't you started a cannabis line? She threw this at Stacey at the reunion. Stacey lies. No. Stacey, Eddie doesn't own the cannabis industry. Why would you lie about that? That's the thing I don't understand about these ladies. Whether we like it or not, we're going to root for you if you're doing something using your platform correctly. Welcome in, Soundcheck Annette. I'm glad to see you. Welcome in. She's speaking to everybody. Soundcheck Annette be in the bushes, so sometimes she may not be able to speak individually, but welcome in anyway, okay? Thank you so much for coming in. So again, as I mentioned at the beginning, what happens in New York at the reunion is going to just impact the whole season. So this cannabis line Eddie has made all this money on, and let me just toot Eddie's horn again, because I can't get enough of Happy Eddie and Dr. Wendy. Dr. Wendy can be annoying bragging about those 4 degrees, but I'm going to give these people their accolades because they're very hardworking. Eddie is an attorney by trade. That's how we met him. Okay? So Stacey, one of the next scenes we see, Stacey is meeting with her. Production puts it up there that this is her ex-husband, the German. Now, remember, we didn't see a lot of him. We would see him in pictures, or if she was with the daughter, we would hear him spoken of. We didn't see a lot of the ex-husband. I don't want to say his name or say it correct. DMO, something like that. I didn't even write it down. But they said they went on the Christmas vacation together for the benefit of their daughter, and they started dating again. So production shows these beautiful pictures. They said, we don't want to confuse the daughter, so we're not going to speak about it. Now, here's what I think about Stacey. I don't know if Stacey is lying to the viewer or not, because she's acting like she's getting back together with her ex-husband. But it'll come up later because Ashley Bobblehead Darcy is on the case. Did Stacey ever really divorce this man? There's no paperwork to be found. He's going along with it. She told him, don't talk about it. Now, they're saying that for the daughter's sake. But Stacey had a whole made-for-TV boyfriend, as Giselle called him. That was TJ. So this is confusing. And she makes a point of, oh, we're giving each other googly eyes. Oh, we can't stop smiling at each other. Oh, we know what's going to happen after this date. Stacey, we don't really care. Go ahead and sleep with your husband if you want to. Ex-husband, whatever you're calling him. We see a scene with Kierna. She's with her mom in her new condo. We heard that last year Kierna was going to move out from Greg. We watched Greg, as Kierna said in her words, show his natural A on TV. And we didn't like Kierna for Greg. I didn't. Greg is one of those men who is 3 or 4 on a good day and sees himself as a 10. Kierna, who is an actual 10, sees Greg as a 10 as well because of what he can do for her and because of her status of being in a relationship. That's just the way I view them. Kierna's mother is so pretty. She looks like an older sister. She does. So the mother said her and the family, they don't see a relationship with Greg for Kierna. Production flashes back. We see a very unimpressed family of Kierna giving Greg a side eye. Greg is talking crazy. I don't know why Kierna featured this man on TV at all. We get a confessional with Kierna saying, and after he showed his natural behind on TV and I moved down into my condo, he saw that I was really serious and he invited me to Jamaica to just talk and rekindle. So we went to Jamaica and we rekindled. Kierna, we're not happy for you. I don't think Kierna's mom was happy for her either, y'all. Do you remember Greg, Kierna's boyfriend? And again, not even a husband, not a fiance, her boyfriend over here talking crazy. I just didn't like it. So we see Eddie and Wendy. They are at their beautiful home with they had a poster card family, y'all. I can't get enough of them. Cruz and Carter are the 2 boys. They're big. Are they teens yet? Long legs, just laying on the couch. You know how teens do. Zen Win Part 2. Production, you can put the little girl's name up there because I can't remember. They call her Zen Win Part 2. Little Wendy. Wendy's little mini-me. She's so pretty. We watched Wendy have this little girl on TV because I think she was Wendy. I don't think Dr. Wendy came on with 3 children. Happy Eddie's talking to the boys. Do y'all realize I'm traveling? Are you happy? Are you sad? You gonna help me pack? What's going on? I'm packing. Are you excited? Cruz or either Carter, they're kind of trolling him a little bit. And Eddie's telling them, I've expanded Happy Eddie. Y'all, this is y'all legacy. Get up. Get excited with your dad. But I can't force that on teens. I was a teen. I know how it is. So he's expanded Happy Eddie. He said, I'm in my 3rd state. I'm now in Jersey. This is amazing, y'all. We get another confessional with Wendy. Wendy's had a complete glow up. Wendy was always good looking, but I don't know that she knew it. And remember when Karen used to kind of mock her and she did the Wendy, like that little slouch that they claim Wendy does? Wendy's gorgeous. She looks wonderful every time I see her. She's excited. She's happy. She says in her confessional, Happy Eddie is financially profitable. Remember, Dr. Wendy is, or was, she resigned. She was a professor. I don't know that she was an attorney. What are these 4 degrees, y'all? I know she was a professor. It came up because they asked the little girl, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? She said, I want to be a doctor like mommy. Why did one of the boys talking about, she's not a doctor? And everybody's like, well, yes, she is a doctor. The little sister's like, yes, she is. Because some people feel like only a medical doctor is a doctor. Dr. Jackie does that over there on Married to Medicine. You can have your doctorate and you're a doctor. Dr. Wendy was a professor. She is a doctor. So she lets us know that Happy Eddie's financially profitable. And I think she says this is where they bring up Stacey. We find out that we are the source of inspiration to people. That's when production shows us the clip of Giselle asking about Stacey and Stacey lying. Ashley piped in when Giselle said, Stacey, did you start a Happy Stacey? Ashley piped in and said, Stacey. Now, Stacey, instead of lying, what you would do as a real housewife, if this is what you want to do, take that name, trademark it, Spacey Stacey. That's your cannabis line. Okay? Happy Eddie, I love Happy Eddie. He doesn't own the cannabis business. This is successful. You already have a house husband doing this. Slide right into that lane, Stacey. Don't listen. When they misuse the platform, that's when I feel like they should get up out of there. Also for lying, also for hiding certain parts of their stories. But absolutely, there's no shame in that if she did that. But Confessional Wendy's trolling her. That we find out that Stacey is starting a cannabis line. So they're asking the kids what they want to do. One of the boys, they love to troll Eddie and Wendy. And in Nigerian families, I've had Nigerian friends and I know their children, if they're not an attorney or a doctor or something that requires a bunch of degrees, a ton of schooling, they're not really satisfied. So Wendy even told the baby, you gave the right answer. They're asking the boys, what do you want to do? Cruz or Carter? I can't tell them apart. And they're close in age too. I think they're about a year apart. They said, well, what about Chick-fil-A? They're a popular business. What do they pay if I work there? Y'all stop it. But Chick-fil-A franchises are lucrative. They really are. So we see Ashley, she's showing up to plan a ballroom event. It's called Second Bloom. That's actually also the name of the episode. She shows up. She's having a celebration of her divorce party. She's at a boutique. She's not at the event yet. She's at a boutique. And she says, I'm here. I'm going to pick out my dress, my look. Stacy is a model. Every time I see Ashley, hair, makeup, clothes, everything, she is looking beautiful this season. I won't take that away from Ashley. Ashley looks really pretty. So we show Stacy walking in to greet Ashley because they need to talk. Because the last time Stacy was in a scene with Ashley, Ashley ran her up out of there. So Ashley, I put Ashley lies, but here's the confusion, y'all. Maybe y'all can help me or correct me. Ashley says, we sat next to an actress at the Essence luncheon. So this was Giselle's story. Giselle didn't mention when she told the story to the ladies that Ashley was there, and Ashley didn't pipe in or add to the story as she usually would. So Ashley's telling the same story that Giselle did. Now she's presenting it to Stacy. So did she take over Giselle's story, or was Ashley there as well? I was confused about that. But the gist of it is she's now letting Stacy in on what they know about TJ. The actress showed receipts. Stacy is wide-eyed, innocent, lying, and confused. Ashley points it out. TJ's the plaintiff. Stacy, you are the defendant. Stacy is just shocked. So Ashley starts pressing her. She says, Stacy, this is why we're not going to be able to be friends. I'm going to maintain. You need to tell me the truth. Now, I'm going to ask a question as a viewer. Ashley, why does Stacy owe you anything? She owes the viewer the truth, but why are you grilling this lady on any of her story? Like, you weren't on TV for years lying to the viewer that you were not getting a divorce when I don't know if y'all had an open marriage. I don't know what was going on between you and the crib keeper. I don't know. I can't stand Michael Darby. So glad he's not on our screen anymore. But for years, you kept the viewer in the dark. We didn't know what was going on. And then, bam, your divorce is final. Sharon Gobble said, I just don't like Ashley. She is a beautiful woman, though. Yeah, we won't take that away from Ashley. And she's had a glow up. She looks pretty this season. So we get confessional Ashley in a really pretty zebra print. Ashley's a mess, y'all. She says, anyone committing to a lie this way at this level is a scary bee. Look who's talking. Oh, Ashley sometimes the audacity makes you I'm kind of in awe of Ashley and the nerve. That's her maybe I was going to say that's her white side. I won't say that. Good morning, Kiwan J. Thank you so much for coming in. I love seeing you here in the chat. Thank you. So Stacy says there's an imaginary friend, and this is not an imaginary friend. This is TJ's best friend. Giselle has met her and Ashley has met her. So Stacy's saying this imaginary friend shouldn't have this much of an influence. Ashley says, no, the actress is real. Stacy says, I've forgiven TJ. I've moved on. Stacy she's next level gaslighter. I've forgiven TJ. I have moved on. Ashley says, I want you to be honest. Are you divorced? Stacy says, it's no one's business. Ashley just moves along. Now, Ashley has been at this a few years too. When she come in season 2, because I remember Grandon feeling like she had to school Ashley when Ashley danced on the scene. Stacy said it's no one's business. Stacy, that's not how this works. It's everyone's business. It's our business. And Ashley, who we don't even like, is going to find out for us. Because we feel like you're trying to bamboozle the viewer. Ashley can go. She's overdue. LOL. Kiwan, who's going to drive the story? We don't like Ashley either, but who's going to drive the story? Stacy's sitting there. She's confused. So Ashley said, that's not how it works. Ashley says, look up my divorce. You can find it. Now, Ashley, for years, we couldn't find your divorce because you and Michael were not divorced. You were still living in the house. And y'all, excuse me, I know it's only 9:30 in the morning, having coochie craving for Michael. Y'all remember that? Oh, that was disgusting. Ashley did that for years. And then when she had those 2 babies, well, I got these little 2 babies. You knew that when the man was out here cheating with everybody and throwing everything but the book at Juan Dixon. And I don't think Juan Dixon was at all interested. I don't care what nobody say about Juan. He would never go that. So Ashley's pressing Stacey on this divorce. Stacey saying, instead of Ashley Googling me, now Stacey is quick. Instead of Ashley Googling me, she needs to be Googling a vocal coach. I told y'all Ashley was up there at the People's news show singing, killing me softly, murdering, killing, butchering Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly. And she was doing it with a straight face, y'all. Ashley was straight up singing. Dato Baniazzi. Can we talk about Giselle being the queen of the show? If you were here at the beginning before my rant, welcome in. I placed her right in the center where she belongs. And I'll just tell you, I'm not a Giselle fan, but I give it up when somebody deserves it, okay? Right now, in this moment, and y'all see the backdrop, Giselle's the queen of the show, okay? We need Candace, please. Don't get these people up in arms. I like Candace myself, but we already mentioned Monique Samuels is coming back. So I think Bravo has made a choice right now. I think the door is cracked for Candace. I follow her on IG. I saw a beautiful picture of her with her little angel. Candace is still touring, singing. She's taking care of her baby. But Andy didn't tell her the door is closed, as Nene would say. I think Candace is welcome back. Does Candace want to be bothered with what comes with filming with Monique and people probably trying to put them together or provoke something? I don't know. But again, I miss Candace's, the quickness, that mouth. Ashley Darby. Now, she is the one that set this whole Kiana thing up where Kiana got that permanent scar. The reason why I feel like we're looking at Kiana, because y'all, I don't know that she's Real Housewife material. Sorry. So Ashley's still pressing Stacey in this dress shop. Stacey finally gets fed up and said Ashley should Google a voice coach. Production shows the news clip of Ashley singing badly. This is a mess. And Stacey says, what it is about you, Ashley, that makes you do that? Stacey, Ashley gets paid well by Bravo to do this. She gets on our nerves. She giggles and she does it, but she gets paid to do this, okay? They are arguing in this lady's dress shop. Stacey said, keep speaking to your imaginary friend and we'll revisit. Stacey leaves. Stacey, it wasn't time for you to go. We all trying on dresses. Ashley won. Ashley's sitting there in the seat. The lady brings over champagne. Lady, where did you dig this champagne up? You supposed to get, and Ashley said, you supposed to give us these when we came in. Because Stacey has run out the door. Stacey, if you're going to run out of these scenes, we're going to have to get rid of you. And on this channel, we talk to them as if we're talking directly to them. Wendy Osefo is the best of all the franchise of Potomac. I love Dr. Wendy and what she gives, but there are people that Wendy can get on. Dr. Wendy can get on your nerves, but I do love it. Yes, let's be honest, Stacey. You can't come to the show and be fake. We're going to get on her about that. Yeah, Kiwan saw production was messy. I'm going to give them this. That when somebody brings something up, production will bring the receipts, or as some people call the beautiful bean footage. So yeah, we saw Stacey walk off again. And then she did get Ashley with that singing remark. So I don't know. That's a fair fight. Stacey, you're smarter than Ashley. Ashley is just better at this than Stacey. So we'll see what's going to happen. Ashley said, Stacey loves a walk off. She's in the confessional looking cute. Stacey loves a walk off. But I want to know, she said, why she's walking off. I should have walked off when she blew her hot air breath in my face. Y'all, I thought this was just a narrative, but we're hearing this too much. Stacey, I hope your breath doesn't smell. You remember Stacey's friend that owns that dress shop loaned Stacey a dress and said that Stacey said something really shady, like she didn't know the lady or something, and had borrowed multiple items from her. She said Stacey brought them back funky under the arms, y'all. You know when you borrow clothing, you're supposed to dry clean it. And I don't know if it was something that should have been returned. I think they allowed her to return it as a Real Housewife, but she didn't dry clean it, and it was funky, okay? Fato, please, that line of instead of Googling me is so old and tired. Stacey, boo, next, child. But she did Google her. Ashley does Google people. And y'all, they go down to the court now and get documents. This is not the channel for that. If I can see it on IG or y'all, I'm not on TikTok right now. But if I see it somewhere, we'll discuss it. Kiwan says Stacey needs to head to the dentist. Yeah, something is causing this breath. Because I said Ashley had this new narrative that Stacey's breath stinks. But I don't know. Because this is going to come up more than once, y'all. And then we're going to hear Giselle say later that it might be coming from down in her stomach. Y'all, I forgot to mention when Stacey was walking up to go into Giselle's house, why did production show her burp? So it's something going on in her gut. I don't know. Probiotics, do something, Stacey. You can't have these people around here. Last year they said you funky under the arms. Now they're saying your breath stinks. But Ashley, all them years you were married to the crypt keeper. Let's hope your hygiene is on point. If you're going to use this as something to dig at Stacey with. And then people say something about older men and worms. I don't know. I don't say that because I don't know, but some people say that, so I don't know. Child, need a dentist on Potomac. Stacey's the first one to have these issues. This is the first I've heard of it. I mean, not the first I've heard of like the hygiene thing, but now we're hearing more and more about what's going on in her mouth. So Giselle loves her empty nest. I want to congratulate Giselle again on her house. People used to try to make fun of her house when she was kind of cobbling everything together. It's her style. It's beautiful. She floats down the stairs. She said, okay, hair. Y'all know Giselle has pictures of herself all over her house. We'll allow it. Giselle is pretty. She said, I look pretty today. You need to do this. Affirmation. So I don't have a problem with it. Production has a problem with it. They show scenes of Giselle's daughters roasting her at various times. They were talking about her leopard pants. Giselle was like, they make my butt look good. One of the twins was like, no, they don't. So they used to humble Giselle, but this is a mess. We had Andy Cohen at the reunion flashback asking how she loves the girls being away. And Giselle was telling the truth. She said, I was sad about 5 or 10 minutes. So she says her day is working out, all these other things she gets to do. I'm happy for Giselle. Love or hate Giselle, she appears to be a great mother, and I love her 3 daughters. I think they're beautiful. I'm so glad we didn't get Mia back. I can't stand Mia, y'all. She was the first person I saw on screen disparage Giselle's daughters. No, we can talk about Jamal Bryant, okay? And sometimes we will. Monique sure did with the binder. We will not talk about Giselle's daughters. So she says she recounts her day, what she likes to do. Giselle calls Ashley. Ashley's on FaceTime. She said, I invited Stacey to the Bloom Ball, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. Ashley's grinning. I met with her after everything that happened at your house, and then she got upset at the dress shop, and she walked out. So we don't know if Stacey's going to make it. Ashley says she told Stacey to stop lying, and then she mocked Stacey in her voice as far as whatever Stacey answered. Good morning, Cece. Cece came in. She's one of the moderators, spoke to myself and everyone. Thank you so much, Cece. I appreciate you coming in during the live. If the rumor is true, Stacey better take care of it. Y'all, we were talking about Ashley, not me, because I haven't been in her vicinity. I'm going to BravoCon, and I'm not a reporter. I'm not a journalist, okay? I'm not going to do that type research. Any of the housewives, whether I like them or not, I'm going to try to get a picture with them. I'll smile with them. I'm always cordial. I was raised correctly. I don't want to smell Stacey's breath. So I won't be able to report that to y'all, okay? Everyone speaking to everyone. Thank you so much. Sharon Gabo is saying what is the consensus. She's a great mother and her daughters are gorgeous. And they're all 3 in colleges. I want to say HBCUs. I'm almost sure that that's the case. I feel like she went to Hampton for the twins or with whoever the older one is. So we don't know if we're going to see Stacey at this second Bloom Ball or not. Y'all, we know that Stacey's got to come because she's run out of 2 scenes. So Ashley is telling Giselle what happened. Giselle says a receipt is a receipt. So I guess Giselle and Ashley were there together because, y'all, we find out later at this same Essence event, Kiana and Dr. Wendy were there. Kiana as a sponsor and a guest, Dr. Wendy as a speaker and a guest. So we will see. Giselle says, well, a receipt is a receipt, and we saw it. So Giselle cleared that up, y'all. She said, don't call us liars. We were both there. Again, I don't know Giselle to be a liar. Ashley Darby a lie. But, yeah, I don't know Giselle to lie. They say that about Candy, but I don't even know about that. Ashley says she never found a record of the divorce. Well, Ashley, when you hadn't filed and you claimed you were getting divorced to keep your Bravo check, we never found a record of yours either until it actually happened. Here's what I think about Stacey, y'all. I think Stacey is kind of an actress. I think she came on trying to kind of make viewers think certain things about her. So she's going to be this poor, almost divorcee going through this divorce, this single mother, dating this good-looking guy, if you like that type. I don't think TJ was into her or anyone like her, if you know what I mean. So Stacey was trying to kind of shape viewer opinion on her. That's dangerous in the first season because she got caught. She got caught badly. TJ suing her over it. We never believed them together on screen. So Ashley never found a record of divorce. I don't think Stacey was actually getting divorced. Hence, her and her husband getting back together. Y'all let me know what you think. What y'all think about that? K1 J, yes, BravoCon. I'm excited. I'm excited. I have to schedule. I have to sit down with it and figure out like what events I'm going to, what I'm going to do. So that too says, Giselle, yes. Can I be her designer for season 10 reunion? Giselle been looking good that though. Are you a designer? What was the lady's name that lent those dresses to Stacey that Stacey funked up? Giselle's a great example of what we mean by carrying the show. Kiwan, Stacey is the juicador of Potomac, and she's laughing. Drew has actual storyline though, but what you think her around for faking? I don't know. I'm interested in Drew, and the ladies do target Drew, but Drew can fight back too. Stacey trying to replace Mia with the fakeness. That's not good. You see, Mia jumped up and walked out, and then after that, that was her job. Now she's trying everything she can to get back on TV. We don't want it. We don't want Mia in Atlanta. I saw her over there with Kelly. All right, Kelly, you barely got your little feet in the door. So Giselle doesn't want to be called liars. I agree with Giselle because they're telling the truth. Stacey, you lied. You got caught. So this is going to be a hot season for Stacey. Sharon Gabo called it out. Stacey's in the hot seat, and it happens to someone every year. So we see Angel. That's the young lady's name. Now there's a new British lady that comes in. I hope I wrote her name down. Angel is either above me, the DMV girl, or is she to the far next to Kiana? Let me know. Maybe they put Kiana next to her friend. I apologize, y'all. I'll have it together as they move on. So Angel is a friend of Kiana of 18 years. She gets a confessional. She looks pretty in her confessional. She says she's a girl's girl. She's a mom. Now, I don't know many girls that say that. We'll have to watch her and her behavior, see if that's true. She's a girl's girl. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a journalist. She brings the zen. I don't know. She got a lot of energy, and we already have a zen, okay? And Dr. Wendy's not zen, but she's claimed that, okay? And then the daughter is zen part 2, so you are not zen, okay? I like you so far. Her husband, Bobby, she had a good-looking husband, y'all. He's retired from the Denver Broncos. They were a beautiful couple. There were various people in the house. I feel like her mother and father were there. They're Maryland natives. She's known Kiana 18 years. The husband had that friendship, like he knows Kiana as his wife's long-term friend too. So I liked all of their vibe together. He kissed his wife and went for a walk. Good start. Stay out women business. I loved it, y'all. Kiana asked, how y'all doing? How you doing moving back? She said they're doing great. She has a company called Wonderland. They do, I can't really understand what they do. I'll know more about it. Luxurious guided experiences. Production provides us with some lovely scenes of them guiding tours in nature. She said it allowed her to heal after losing her mom. I'm sorry to hear that. Condolences to you. I went through the same thing a few years ago, and it sneaks up on you when you least expect it. So I'm looking forward to seeing her in her storyline. I liked her engagement with Kiana. Kiana, take a lesson from your friend. This is how you can't change how you came in. This is your sophomore season, but we want to see more of you that's not Greg, okay? She asked for the social landscape. Is this conversation supposed to take place on TV? Don't y'all start this alliance mess. Learn everybody for yourself. So Kiana starts filling her in on the ladies. She claims that she's friends with Giselle. That's who's calling Giselle the queen of the show. So that's a good move, Kiana, that you're friends with Giselle. But let me tell you something. You could be a friend to Giselle, but is Giselle a friend to you? Okay? Because Grand Dame's coming back. Karen's going to be there. That's her best friend of me. Even who else? Monique Samuels and Giselle. We know how they met. They were not friends. I'm sorry, I have to go off camera a minute. Monique Samuels and Giselle were not friends after Monique said that I have 4 homes to Giselle's very shady. You don't have a home? I have 4 homes. So I see with Monique coming back, even as just a friend of Giselle, after Bindergate also, Giselle's going to tiptoe lightly around Monique Samuels because she knows not to play with her, okay? Queen of the show or not, Giselle knows not to play with Monique Samuels. So we have Kay filling in her friend on what she thinks about the different ladies. The friend actually remembers Wendy. The friend threw a little shade at Wendy. I don't like that. If Dr. Wendy or Kiana are into something, you don't know the details of it yet, okay? Something about the friend also knew Ashley. Ashley was a bottle girl at one point in time. We can see that. Ashley is always trying to be around where she can get the money. And Sheila was able to help her dig up the crypt keeper. So this is a social landscape, but it's kind of skewed because she's getting her information from her friend. So we find out Wendy was a roommate to one of her big sis in college. So she says Wendy was a lot older than her. If this was your big sis in college, even if you were a freshman, if they were seniors, it's not a lot older. 4 to 5 years at most. So we're not going to do that, okay? So they start talking about the different ladies. Production helpfully shows a picture of Wendy, wide-eyed Wendy. She was the same. You could tell that Wendy has always been ambitious, always had complete and total just trying to be a social butterfly. So Kiana stated that there's some type of energy going on with Dr. Wendy. She tells this story of the Essence event. Kiana, are you going to make this a thing? We don't really care about this because I can't really tell what happened. We get a sit down at the end over this. Confessional Kiana says, Wendy can't be the same person consistently, and I want to know what's the reason. Kiana, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Cece's asking about Toot speaking to everyone. Toot is speaking to everyone. Thank you. And Kiwana is saying good morning back. So what do y'all think so far of this season? Dear Yvette, welcome in, dear Yvette. I'm glad to see you. Dear Yvette snuck in to say that she don't like Wendy. Dr. Wendy used to wear on my nerves, but I'll tell you, she's one of my favorite housewives now across franchises. She and Happy Eddie are my favorite couple across franchises, along with Gertie down in Real Housewives of Miami and her husband, Russ. So we get Corey. Welcome, Corey. Corey is Ashley's friend and stylist. I told y'all Ashley was looking better. Ashley has had this glow up. She's not as tacky as she used to be. Thank you, Corey. We are glad to see Corey. They're walking into the second Bloom event. And Wendy is also coming to. Wendy's asking, how's this the second annual? This is her first event. We don't have to be so literal, Wendy. You know Ashley is dumb. Stacy is in a confessional asking if they missed the first. Now, come on. This is where Grand Dame would come in. Karen knows how to throw these little digs, especially at Ashley. Kiana arrives in a crown looking beautiful. One of Kiana's confessional looks is also, it looks kind of like the Statue of Liberty, but it's a crown. We get it. You are a princess. But Giselle has been dubbed queen of the show, not by myself, but by that too, who was in here earlier. Sharon says, Kiana seems a little shady. I'm going to give her more time. Yeah, this is her sophomore season. First season kind of fizzled, other than I knew for a fact I didn't like Greg. I like her scenes with her mother. I think she's been told to clock in. I think I'll quote Portia Williams, and I don't do that much. Wrong word, wrong road. Wrong road, Kiana, okay? Because Dr. Wendy, if she has nothing else, and she has a lot else, she got words. She has a lot. Don't get into it with Dr. Wendy for no reason. It's like she's picking. So dear Yvette, speaking to everyone, thank you so much. Giselle has a new friend, Kia. She met her. This is the British lady, y'all. Giselle met her new friend, Kia. Something about Sotheby's. She's a high-end realtor, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but that's what she mentioned. Kia claims that she's Nigerian royalty. Uh-oh, Kia. We already got one of those. Dr. Wendy. Now, I hope they're from the same tribe because I don't want to see what happened with Nneka. Y'all know Nneka had a beautiful baby. We could have had Nneka and her whole story on here, but Nneka sided with Giselle and Ashley over her Nigerian sister, Dr. Wendy. Lied on the mother, said all kind of stuff. It came up at a reunion. We got to see the beautiful Nigerian men step up. That's one of my favorite house husband. They tag team. And they were like, what is that? What is that? And he said, we don't talk about it. It's taboo. So be careful, Kia. Don't come in here with all that, okay? I wrote that down. Please, even if you're not in Wendy's tribe, don't pull a Nneka, okay? Don't do that. Ashley and Giselle, let me not even tell them not to start because they've already started. But right now, they got their eye on Stacy, okay? And Giselle is claiming that she's friends with Kia. So Giselle wants to meet Kiana's friends. They're all coming in together. We got the new lady. Sharon Gabo is still saying, Karen is my girl. I don't care what anybody else thinks. You laughing. Yes, you don't have to defend your defense of Karen. She has cemented her place in this show no matter what. She has served that time. It was well-deserved time because here's what I'm going to say about Karen. And Charisse, why are we looking at Charisse? I don't want to see Charisse. Andy, why do you bring this lady back all the time? What they say is, oh, she's the one with the real connection. She should be the real Grand Dame. She was on the show. The viewer didn't choose Charisse to be Grand Dame. We don't like Charisse all that much. But she's at this second Bloom ball. I'm tired of Charisse already, and she just stepped on the screen. Dear Yvette said, I'm sorry, but Ashley using the QVC lady as her storyline. Dear Yvette, you see her. You see what she's doing. And then for Stacey to jump up and run out of the scene when she should be eating Ashley up, even though Stacey's a liar. Stacey's a big liar, but she can talk. That too says, yes, Happy Eddie. You heard Dr. Wendy say that they made $1 million on that cannabis line already. So what they say, what some people make for evil, God will give it to you for good. I love it. This season is hot. I mean, drama on season 1. This is episode 1. Yes, season 10, episode 1. I didn't know. I don't know if I like it or not. Charisse is useless like the G in lasagna. Ooh, Kiwan, you think she should be silent as well? I do. I think Charisse is a friend of Andy, or maybe she has connections that Andy Cohen wants contact with or not to lose connection to. We've seen how dangerous he could be doing that down in Miami. He don't want to get rid of Martina, and we all want Martina gone and her crazy wife past gone. So confessional, Stacey said, the Lord never stops amazing me. Stacey, this is why we get on you. What is she talking about? She said, the Lord never stops amazing me, allowing me to be the better person and attending Ashley's event. So then production inserts Ashley FaceTiming Stacey and inviting her to an event. Stacey, Ashley is inviting you for round 2, 3, because you ran out of 2 scenes in the first episode. Crazy. Don't do that, Kiana. Don't do that, because you are not going to win, boo-boo. Yeah, Dr. Wendy. Dr. Wendy's not to be played with. You don't have to like her, but you cannot. Oh, she's a friend of the show, Sandra. Charisse is a friend of the show? I didn't know that. Okay, so Charisse and Monique are now the friends of the show. I don't even care for Monique Samuels, but I'm looking forward to her appearance because I know she makes Giselle uncomfortable, even though Giselle's growing on me. So I'm looking forward to it. So they're laughing about whether or not she's useless as the G in lasagna. Kiwan dismissed her anyway, out of hand. She said she can go. Okay. So we see Ashley FaceTime Stacey and invite her. Stacey brings her best friend, AJ. AJ shows up well-dressed. He's in a white tux, I believe. Stacey, where is your husband? Did you lie about this storyline? I wrote that down as a note to myself, but I'll share it with you because did Stacey lie about the storyline with her husband? We know she lied about TJ. And you might as well pay that money. I don't think you're going to get that money, though, TJ. So confessional Wendy says, familiar face, yes. So see how Dr. Wendy is coming in friendship. She's not bothering anybody. So, Kiana, why are you messing with her? So she knows, she's confirming that she knows Kiana's friend that's coming in, familiar face. Production asks Wendy, do you know her? She pulls Mariah Carey and says, I don't know her. She's a familiar face. Stand on your square, Dr. Wendy. Or as Charles Oakley said, I was there, but they didn't meet me. I love it. I was there, but they didn't meet me. So now Dr. Wendy's doing her version of that. Ashley and Giselle, the team we need. That's who you like, the stuff stirrers. I realize they are needed for the show as far as stirring, but the two of them get on my nerve. Giselle just grew on me. And like I said, they were good on Love Island. If y'all don't watch those reviews, go watch them. That's who says, I mean, Cherie, she is a housewife or a friend. Oh, that's what I'm wondering. Is she a housewife or a friend? Sharon Gobble thinks that Cherise is a friend of. I don't know. She could be. So she's a friend of. Ashley Darby for some reason. So Stacey comes in. Y'all, this is going to jump off pretty quickly because Ashley has been told to clock in as well because Kiwan J has said Ashley should go. And I think quite a few viewers think that. Ashley doesn't have her own story. She's using Stacey. Stacey's buying into it, jumping up, running out. Stacey, you should show production and the viewers that you can handle Ashley because you can. Ashley has audacity, but she's not that smart. Or as Nene would say, she's less than smart. And she got Giselle on her side, but Giselle is not going to get as far or as much on Ashley's side as she used to be with Rob the Throb Dixon. Giselle's not going to risk her slot again. She's going to be right over there on Reasonably Shady, but she's not going to bring that mess to work. So Ashley, watch yourself. Some reason she's still going back and forth with Stacey. Stacey is asking Ashley, what is your problem? What is the problem? And I feel like she's trying to talk down in her throat to Ashley, like, let's not do this here. Stacey, we're going to do this here. Why do you think we show up on Sunday nights? We have better stuff to do. I'm asking that too, Thought. So if anybody knows, let us know. Is Sharice a housewife or a friend? We don't like her in any case. CC is saying Stacey's husband being a mystery man, either he wants nothing to do with the show or he knows the assignment is to lay low for now. He said that in the scene, CC. Well, Stacey did. She was like, well, we're going to say nothing or say less, or we're not going to say anything. She's claiming for the benefit of the daughter. They don't want to confuse the daughter. But if y'all went on a whole vacation with the daughter, didn't she think you were already still together? We don't know. Okay, we don't know. I think that Stacey lied about divorcing that man at all, brought the made-for-TV boyfriend on, TJ, in Giselle's words, to, I don't know, she thought the viewer would like him better. We didn't like him better. Remember that pizza lunch? A frozen pizza lunch and bug juice. Ugh, we hate it. So Ashley, she appears to be completely acting, because when Stacey's asking her, well, what are you doing? All of a sudden, we got Ashley activated with her finger in her face, all of this. Then the man who's Stacey's friend says, y'all are being loud. Y'all need to quiet this down. And then he's saying, well, what do you want from her? Do you need to see divorce papers? Ashley, I do. I need to see divorce papers. Ashley, Andy Cohen asked you for 3 seasons. Production put that in somewhere. I don't know if it was this scene. Andy asking Ashley, are you divorced yet? Are you divorced yet? Are you divorced yet? Ashley hadn't even filed. She finally filed, and now we find out she is divorced. She did a cute newspaper announcement. She was in there half naked and posing. Okay, Ashley. Cece's laughing at Kiwan about the G and lasagna like Sharice. Yes, that is funny. Dato said this season, Giselle's going to take down the girl with the binder, a.k.a. Monique. That life for you, child. And also, I want to know if the rumors regarding the paternity of Monique's child were true, please. I'm going to put this right here, Thato. They lied on Monique. That business about the trainer, I think that's why Giselle got bopped in her head with the binder. Figuratively, not literally. Okay? Monique didn't hit anyone but Candace. That little baby is Chris Samuel's baby. We didn't have a DNA test. Child born during the marriage is presumed to be a child of the marriage, and that little boy looked just like Chris Samuels. Now, they say if you feed them long enough, they'll look like you. I never bought into that. I really despised when Giselle did that. I don't like those kind of, whether it's a lie or not. We don't know if Monique was with the trainer or not. That's between her and Chris. That baby was born. They were married. That's Chris's baby. And Giselle, just let me tell you, we'll see if that's so. If you come back, I hope you do. Anyone that is new, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, okay? As you see, I do read comments. I do engage. That's why I like the lives. I think Giselle lied on Monique. I think she had a vendetta against Monique once Monique embarrassed her, even in being new to the show. Monique, that's why I'm mad that Monique got violent. I mean, Candace had that voice. You can't do a lot with it. She got words, but Monique could have used her words. There was no need for her to drag her, even though Candace told her, drag me. Don't tell people that, because you don't know where they're at in their journey with the Lord, as Stacey said. Elisa Triplet, I'm glad to see you. Welcome in. You snuck in. You're speaking to Cece, but I'll take it as you're talking to me too. Dear Vet says what a lot of the viewers were thinking. TJ plays for the other team, and he was such a poor actor, he couldn't even hold it. Sharon Gabo clocked him too. That who says, I like that you quoted the GOAT, Nene Leakes. You'll hear a lot of Nene. We know who the queens of the various shows are, whether Andy recognizes it or not. As Nene told Andy, nobody knew you until you knew me. That's true, but you don't tell your boss that. Nene still can't get back over there. Sharon Gabo saying what I believe. That's Chris's baby. That's what says, Like, doesn't make sense. You don't want to confuse the daughter. Child Stacey, desperate to be a housewife. She is, and that's the best way to lose your job. We don't like desperate housewives. You got to come. Remember that show, Desperate Housewives? That was an ABC show. You got to come in here ready to work, but don't get desperate with it. Even Ashley, I think Ashley doesn't have a storyline. She's using Stacey. Stacey's taking the bait. But even Ashley, I think she's desperate, but she's not showing it to us. You can't get out here like this. IRT Candace asking, you shall receive. Oh, as far as the baby, yeah, I'm happy for her. She is having the greatest time with her baby. Welcome in, Shannon McD. Welcome in. I'm glad to see you in here. We have been going a little while. So anyone who comes in now, if you're going to be Team Replay, press the like button and just go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm happy to see you. Thank you so much. And Cece, how are you today? She's speaking. Mama B's as well. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and speaking. I love it. Ashley somehow has jumped from trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with Stacey to waving her finger around in Stacey's face. Stacey's kind of begging with her eyes and like, why are we doing this here? Stacey, when you come to these events, this is where you do this. Y'all are not real friends. You're not going to Ashley's house. She's not coming to yours. So the viewer wants to see it. She starts all in Ashley's face. The man says, y'all are being loud, quiet down. Ashley's interrupting her own event and making a scene, which is what she's supposed to do. Okay. So Stacey, I can't remember what Stacey said. She doesn't want to engage with Ashley. Ashley gets into it more with Stacey. Let me see, because there's another scene in here that we have to talk about. Oh, Wendy. This is a scene that's going on at the same time. We'll leave the two of them to the side while they're doing what they're doing. But Wendy is sitting down with Kierna. Kierna's in another crown. She came in a crown. So the ladies are all sitting there. Kierna is telling Dr. Wendy. So Giselle's asking Wendy, what inspired you during that talk? Remember, Dr. Wendy was the speaker at the luncheon. And Dr. Wendy's speaking to Giselle. And Kierna says, Wendy, don't be rude. I'm sitting right here too. I thought Wendy spoke to everyone, but she knows Giselle better, right? So of course she's going to engage with Giselle, and you just sit on the side, Kierna. You settle down. Kierna came in hot, so don't be rude. And then she kind of dismisses Giselle, Giselle is loving it. She don't really want any of this yet. She's not. This is not what she's doing now, because y'all know Giselle has been here since season 1. She's here to work. She knows what's up. So she says, well, I'm just going to give y'all a minute, but I will be back. Giselle exits the scene herself. And Kierna starts to tell Wendy why she's upset with her. Well, you've been dismissive of me, and I don't like that. I feel that we are building a friendship. And I want to know, at the Essence event, why didn't you tell me that you were speaking? And Wendy said, when you text me about it, you said that you were sponsoring. She said, and I hyped you up. Wendy does do that. Wendy said, okay, sponsorship. We've seen Wendy when she did that with Candace that time. Candace had her party for getting her master's, and Wendy came in. Okay, 2 degrees. Wendy does do that. So Kierna's like, but you didn't tell me you were speaking. And Wendy's like, well, I'm supposed to acknowledge you from the stage. You could have nodded at her or something, though, Wendy. But Kierna's doing a little too much, y'all. I think she's trying to get attention. Not the binder, child. You know that's going to come up. Somebody's going to bring it up right to Monique. You're driving. That's okay, Elisa Triplet. We're all speaking to you and saying hello. That's a Candace fan, and she comes from Jesus. That's what she said. I miss Candace because she come in as friend of, because I don't believe that she's going to leave that sweet baby, come over here and fight. I wish we could meet. You made my day. I never know who to discuss this with. You can discuss it over here. Monday mornings is going to be my goal. Team Replay, I reply to comments. So Wendy is telling her, when you find out I hyped it. I said, yes, sponsorship. And so Kierna's still trying to get back and forth. I said, Kierna, this is embarrassing. You are reaching. Tell more about your story that doesn't include Greg. So now we've got over there the same scene. Oh, let me tell you what else Kierna said. She said, and then the first thing you said to me was, oh, hi, did you do your own makeup? Y'all, why did production put in a picture of Kierna and the makeup that she had on for that event? Y'all know I think Kierna is beautiful. A 10 of 10, a beautiful, beautiful girl. I'm not even a makeup girly, as you can tell, but I wanted to know that too. it was kind of, I don't know, it was spotty in places. It was too light. I don't know. So we have confessional Kiana, gorgeous, dressed like the Statue of Liberty. She's going on and on about Wendy. I put here, I don't know what she's talking about. So Ashley, Stacy, and Giselle. Giselle, okay, maybe this is part of being queen of the show. Giselle she dismissed herself from this, which is silly. It's nothing. Wendy's looking confused. Kiana, we don't care. She's over here with the Ashley Stacy thing. Stacy's already activated. Wendy's even turned around. What's going on over here? So Kiana, this is not good. They want to leave your scene and go over here because you don't have anything going on. We don't care. Wendy didn't do anything to you. So now they're over here. They're talking. The other friend, the British girl, Giselle's talking. We find out that she claims that she has smelled Stacy's breath as well. Y'all, this is terrible. So production shows us Ashley finally gets her finger all the way in Stacy's face and says, you get out of here, gallop out of here. See, now Ashley's performative. She does a lot. I giggled a little bit, but Ashley, you didn't have to do this lady like that. Gallop out of here with your size 11 shoe. Get out of here. Now, Stacy's tall. Size 11 feet aren't bad, man. I'm going to 10 myself. She chases Stacy out the door. Stacy, why did you run out? Stacy left. Strike 3, Stacy. You lost the 3rd round on the 1st episode. Ran out of the scene. And Ashley got in the dig about her breath again. The other ladies are kind of agreeing. Let me see where I'm at. I took notes on it because Ashley was coming in hot. She's yelling. She's galloping, telling Stacy's whole shoe size. Y'all tell people too much of your business. I know I just told mine, but I don't care. That's not an insult. I'm 5'10". I couldn't have a little 5'6" feet. I couldn't walk. So Stacy, poor Stacy, and her friend came. He wanted to know what Ashley needed. Ashley said she needed the divorce papers. And then she didn't kick Stacy out. Stacy ran. No, she did kick her out. She told her to get out. And Stacy ran out. So Ashley provoked Stacy and she ushered Stacy out of the room. Stacy galloped out, I'll say. Question: didn't Wendy bring Kiana to the show? Wendy's very shady. I thought that Kiana was, she was initially Candace's friend, but Candace was gone by then. That last season where Andy Cohen left Candace fighting for her life, and then she was almost in tears, like, I have to protect myself. I don't have anyone to protect me. And the camera panned to Giselle. Now, Giselle didn't love Candace, but I saw a little bit of regret on her face. That's the thing about some of these gang ups, and I'm never with the gang up. I could even not like somebody, but I'm not going to join in, and there's a group on people. At one point, Candace was like, boo, boo, boo. Everybody was coming for little Candace just because she had a big mouth and she was always bigging up her husband, which I don't have a problem. I like Chris. I don't know. So now we don't have Candace, but Candace has her little baby, and that's what she wanted. I don't know. Did Wendy bring Kiana to the show? Kiana knew Candace before the show, but you know how Housewives will assign somebody to bring somebody in. So I can't say whether she did or not. If anyone knows, they can tell us. I'm not sure. I can't wait to see Candace and Portia on Traitors. CC, this is going to be an excellent season. I'm going to review Traitors. I already have my own little playlist set up. If you haven't seen the old ones and you're interested, just go listen to them when you're doing something else. Kiana, you like Spotlight, but the Spotlight doesn't want Kiana. Spotlight doesn't want you, Bubba. Please. No, I'm with you, Thato. Kiana, this is your sophomore season. It might be your last season. Because honestly, some of us believe that Bravo might have given you a position so you didn't sue them after Sesame Street caused you to be permanently scarred. And your makeup is lovely. I haven't seen the scar. Ashley asked her about the scar. That's how I know it was real. 1, it was in the lawsuit. And 2, when Ashley was like, oh, how's that going? But she was kind of flip about it on the reunion. And Kiana was like, don't mention my scar. Now, that's what you should have beef with, Kiana. Why are you over here messing with Wendy? And you punching above your weight class with Wendy. Wendy's happy at home with her husband and her children. Wendy don't want to fight with you, but she will. So, Kiana, I'm going to quote Portia again, wrong road. That too is laughing that production is shady and spicy. Her makeup, child, no. Wendy has to recommend one, child. Yeah, she should have. Wendy's makeup is always flawless. And Wendy and Kiana, I don't know, maybe they're in the same skin class as far as dark, the color is that same dark brown, beautiful, gorgeous. Hershey. I've never seen Wendy looking ashed out like whoever did that to Kierna at the Essence thing. Now, sometimes people will get next to these housewives and they'll convince them that they're a stylist or they're this or makeup or they do hair. And then we'll see the housewife and be like, what? Who did that to you? So I don't know. I don't know who did her makeup, but production asked the question too. Sharon Gobble says Stacey's going to run herself out from being on that show. She sure enough is, because we don't allow that. We don't allow that. Say what you will about Giselle. And they said that production might have protected her, but when Monique brought that binder out and she had Pastor Jamal's number, she said, is this his number? And Giselle was like, that's his number. I think Robin was trying to help her, like, yeah, that's the number. Giselle sat there. She held her seat. I saw tears behind her eyes, and Giselle doesn't cry. But she didn't get up and run out. Stacey, this is Stacey's sophomore season, and you running like this? This girl got you running like this? Ashley, of all people. Dave Vet says, Candace is a Sagittarius. We will always keep it 100, and people can't handle it. She keep it 100. But that mouth wrote a check. Let me tell you, words hurt worse. That's why people try to physically handle her, and then that still didn't work. Because Monique, I hated that Monique dragged her. I thought they were going to have a friendship, a relationship. I saw a hand push. Now, I'm in dangerous territory, y'all. I'm a newer channel. I'm not going to go back and rehash that. But the Green Eye Bandits were responsible for a lot of that. I hold Ashley out of that because she was heavily pregnant and using the bathroom every 3 minutes, or she would have been right in the mix because she was running out like, what happened? But Robin was right there. Giselle was right there. Somebody else touched Monique or something. But that's when the whole thing jumped off. I really hate that. Season 5 was terrible. That's who says Stacey thinks that walking in a scene off a scene is dramatic, but she doesn't know the right moment when to walk off. Yeah, and I feel like out of the 3 times she's run away, she hasn't legitimately had reason to. At Giselle's house, you're at Giselle's house. Y'all are eating donuts and cupcake, drinking water and mimosas. Nobody's touching you. Nobody's doing anything. Your seat is hot. They're talking. And Kierna, all people, you should have backed her all the way up. Now, where's Greg? Why you let him take you to Jamaica? That man talked to you like a dog on TV. You could have did all kind of stuff, Stacey, to deflect until you're ready to talk about it. But you're going to address these lies because you lied. And we see you. Wendy and her mama Bleach. Dear Yvette, that stresses me out so bad. That's a big Nigerian thing. Honestly, one of my shows that I love over on Netflix, Young, Famous, and African, some of those actresses are in like gloves if they're outside because you can see the difference in their hands and their skin. I don't get it. Deliver us from that, please. I'm so glad Wendy doesn't feel the need to do that. Honey, Wendy loved all her chocolate. I guess because Eddie loves it. The kids love everybody's Hershey chocolate and they love it. And the makeup is done right. Kierna, we don't want to see you ashed up like that. We don't want to see you doing that over here like Wendy's mama. We don't like that. And I don't talk about people mothers, but it's obvious and we don't care for it. Like what Wendy said, this Stacey issue is a one-sided beef. Yeah, it is. What Stacey needs to go at Ashley for Ashley being in her business, but I don't mind Ashley being in her business because Stacey came in lying to the viewer. TJ was not your boyfriend. She owes that man money. She needs to pay him. I don't think she will because they said she's having a new Audi that's being customized or whatever. She don't have that delivered. So TJ, the money is not there. But anyway, that's the end of the episode. So they previewed the rest of the season. It's going to be a meaty season. Honestly, y'all, I had a lower score for this. I gave them a 7. But talking about it with everybody, getting the comments and everything, I don't know. It kept engagement going. So maybe I'll give them a +1. I'll give them an 8. Everybody showed up. Ashley clocked all the way in. Ashley Bobblehead Darby is here to work. She doesn't really have a storyline. We didn't see the boys at all, which I don't care. Her boys always walking on the counter or doing something crazy. I don't like talking about people's kids, but Ashley got a lot of work to do over there. Kierna, she's trying to start something with Dr. Wendy. I feel like long road. We don't care about it. The 2 new ladies cancel each other out. I don't really care yet. I'll give them a chance because they're new. I'm disappointed in Stacey. Giselle feels like, the British lady said that she smelled Stacey's breath as well. Stacey, please don't allow this to take hold. Do something. Oh, you could do a crossover. Have Dr. Heavily give you a cleaning on screen. No, I don't know. I don't know. You scored this episode a 6. I was trying to be nice and I had given it a 7, but honestly, like I told y'all, I fell asleep on it. So I'm going to leave Sharon's score up. I will see everybody here next week because Monday is what, 9:30 Monday Eastern Standard Time. As long as the show airs on Sunday night, I'll have watched it, taken my notes. We'll talk about it together. I also answer comments. So I'm a newer channel, as you can see. I'm Sandra P's Gen Extra. Thank you so much for Purple Hearts, Yvette. Thank you so much. And I will see all of you in these YouTube streets. Goodbye, everybody.